Hello. Welcome. I see Najwa and I see Marie and I see Mr. Husky. And you should be able to see Jammy Dodgers. That's exciting. Turn this sucker on. Why are you being stupid, camera? So hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. And you see a Jammy, yay. I also have Budgie Smuggler in here tonight, but she's in the corner. She's started sleeping in just the weirdest spot. She's like just decided this one piece of carpet in the corner behind a bunch of cords. She's like kind of like nested in between cords and shipping boxes and a lamp and just a bunch of random crap in the corner at the base of my my nail polish shelves. And I don't like for like almost a week now. That's been every time I'm looking for her, that's where she's sleeping. So I don't know. Impossible to get a camera in that spot, but at least you've got Jammy Dodgers on that one. So 12 Days of Chaos. Yeah, that's oh my god, that's an amazing. So I collect pins, like enamel pins. And mostly I don't really do a lot of like fandom type pins, which I know are very popular. For me, it's mostly like original art stuff. And that was a like an enamel pin advent calendar for this past holiday season. Amazing. By Toku Arts. Toku. I think it's actually, you can probably read it on there, Toku Arts. But yeah, they're on Instagram and obviously have a website, and they do a lot of cool Kickstarters and stuff. And anyway, if you saw in my stories, just I think it was yesterday actually, I just got some rewards from their latest Kickstarter that was Worm Girlfriend themed. So it's, it's just silly shit. But the 12 Days of Chaos one was a lot of fun. Is there paper or box where Budgie is sleeping? No, there isn't. It's literally just like a little area of rug that's no different from any other area of carpeting in this room, except that it is in a corner. So I don't know. Normally she doesn't sleep just on the floor. It's very unusual. But she's somehow decided that this particular piece of carpet is perfect. And I've got a happy versary Cinnamom from Marie. Thank you. Yeah, we completely, we had it in the calendar, and somehow we just completely forgot on the actual day. So it was this past Saturday. That was our Cinniversary, which makes it sound like it's the anniversaries of us sinning when I just say it out loud like that. But no, no, we've been doing that for much longer. Yeah, no, she just waltzed in one day a year and a few days ago. A year ago last Saturday. Oh dear, Marie, one of your puppies is under the weather. Very sorry to hear that. Oh, is Cinna going up into your office? All right. Well, I have both of them in here, so apparently it's time for Cinna to want to come upstairs, and so she's not allowed in this room. And she's not really allowed to be in a room with Budgie for the most part, because Budgie has a freaking panic attack every time. You forget your dog's adoptiversaries too. Yeah, I have Jammy and Budgie's birthday in the calendar too, because I actually know the date that they were born. because I got them as kittens, and I always manage to forget their actual birthday, like every year, despite it being in the calendar. Anyway, so Easter nail art. I have no idea what I want to do. I was thinking for my right hand, I might want to do some like just simple like Easter egg designs. Do each nail different and just do a simple Easter egg design. But I have no idea what I want to do for my left hand. I mean, bunnies, I guess, or something. So if anybody has suggestions, I would love suggestions. We're doing this just like completely off the cuff today. So whatever y'all think is the thing to do, that's the thing we're doing. And like, do we want to do like pastel cremes? Do we want to do shimmers? Do we want to water marble? I mean, I have no idea. Tiffany, hello, welcome. I see a vote for bunnies. Yeah, I was thinking maybe bunnies on the left hand, and then eggs on the right. It seems like a good combination. Do I have plates with buns? I have one Easter plate with bunnies, so I could do some stamping. Where is my... Oof. Hang on. Where is my animals section? That's my animals section. I'm trying to get it without actually, like, moving everything, and I feel like it's not going to work well. I'm going to have to actually dig my stamping plates out. Tiffany, you're hopping back and forth between all the streams. Who else is streaming right now? Erg. Oh my goodness. Doof. Yeah, Mr. Husky, I'm getting it. I just gotta dig it out here. Oh geez. Apparently my Halloween stuff got mixed in with my animal stuff. I put it back wrong last time, so I'm gonna have to do a little sort through here. Of course I can also just freehand, which is what I normally do anyway, so alright, seems like that's all spooky, and this is regular animal stuff. Animals. This is just some cute aminals, but I don't think there's a bunny on this plate. But I have a proper just bunnies plate somewhere. Where's my bunnies plate? Unicorns. Where's my bunnies plate? I literally had it out like a week ago. Y'all. What the hell, man? Hang on. Okay, let's put these back in here. And then the spooky ones in the spooky section. And then maybe I didn't put it back? Did I somehow forget to put my bunny plate back? Did I put it in the wrong section? Oh my god, I swear. You know, a smart person would have, like, gotten the plate out ahead of time. I put it back in the wrong section. It's fixed now. Do I have the pets plates from PPU? No. I'm not doing any religious iconography of any kind, even ironically. Danny Shout is streaming on Twitch, and Unique Nails by Brie was streaming earlier. My goodness, that's so many things. I could do a bunny that looks like Peeps candy though. But here, let me show you the bunny plate. This is the only bunny plate I have. Other than this, it's freehanding, which y'all know I'm perfectly happy to freehand. But yeah, we could do bunny silhouettes. We could do any number of things. Could do like a like a lazy gradient with some pastel jellies, and then do stamped buns over top of that. My hair is being stupid again, as usual. Also, okay, I was talking about this a few weeks ago and I couldn't find them. I have these ridiculous. You don't want to focus? Seriously? Could you please? Could you please? Hello? You're not going to do it, are you? Camera does not want to focus today, apparently. It's all done. Okay, well, anyway, I have a little butterfly clip. I'm actually slightly too old for these to have been a thing when I was a kid. I mean, I guess when I was like in my teens, I saw little kids wearing them, but yeah, it wasn't really a thing. But anyway, I've discovered that like if I just like hang on, I'm gonna use you as a mirror for a second here. If I just like do a little tiny clippy right in there, it helps. If I do it right, it helps keep everything just slightly out of my eyes, just enough. So that's what we're doing. No, it's not. I'm not saying I'm too old to wear bunny clips, Tiffany. Never, ever, ever think that I'm saying I'm too old to do something. I don't believe in that at all. I'm just too old for it to. I didn't finish the thought. I'm too old for it to be like a thing that I grew up with, you know, as a thing that I used in my hair. I was just slightly older than the group of kids that were doing the butterfly clips. But yeah, I don't believe in people being too old for things. I have two of them. One of them is a pink sparkly one, and the other one I guess is purplish sparkly one. But yeah, I'm excited to not be fighting my bangs for the entire stream for once. Hopefully. So anyway, I'm seeing excitement for Peeps Bunny concept, but I also am seeing that. Oh, okay, Tiffany, the steps on this plate. I'll tell you what. You don't need to do any of them. B, most of them do not need to be combined. Most of them are like, if you wanted to, you could do, you know, like one color, one color, one color. You're doing 3 layers. But I'm going to tell you how I use this plate. How I use this plate is if I want a fucking silhouette, I'm using this one here. And if I want a fucking outline, I'm using this one here. And I do not do layering. I do not do layering. I find layering so annoying. I would rather reverse stamp all day every day than do layering. I don't have the patience for layering. So curious what you do with just ears. So last year a thing that I did one of my stampers just fell down. Last year a thing that I did was I stamped some skulls. And then stamped bunny ears on the skulls. So, you know, human skull, bunny ears. So that was one of my Easter manicures last year. Najwa says we had banana clips, which were no good for me. Yeah, my hair was always way too short for banana clips. They were useless. Too short and too thin. Very, very fine hair. Plenty of it, but very, very fine. So it doesn't work. Yeah, so I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm gonna pull some colors, and y'all can come up with ideas for a nail art design for my left hand. All right, you're okay, Budge. You don't have to move. You're fine. All right, I'm gonna grab. I have some milk jellies in pastel colors. So we'll pull those. And And then I have the ILNP jellies that are a little brighter, but should go well with those. And then grab some of my Holo Taco ones. Got lots of Holo Taco pastels. Pastels. Why did my brain do that? Pastels. I feel like that's enough pastels. For cremes at least. Cremes and jellies. And then someone's going to have to yell at me if you think that we should also do some shimmers in with this. I should also grab a stamping polish or two, depending on what we're going to want to use here. I caved and got Time After Time from the Cottagecore collection from Holo Taco. And now I'm like mad because I got 2 of the new whatever the ocean collection thing is called. I got 2 of those and Time After Time. And got my birthday butter whatever polish. And then like a week after that arrives, then they come out with this one-off single beautiful ugly color that I desperately want. And I'm like, there's nothing else that I need. There's nothing else on my wish list. I don't need any basics. I don't have any points to redeem. I don't have, like, there's nothing. There's just, if I want that, I have to order just that. And I refuse. I'm not doing that. Forget it. Born Ugly, that's what it's called. Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, I'm like so annoyed. I'm so annoyed that they did it that way. And I know, like, it's fine. It's fine. It's just nail polish. But like, urgh. You know? If I had just waited, I would have been able to have it. Hi, Budgie Smuggler. Are you a good girl? Did y'all hear Budgie? She had a little meow to say. Oh, the retro jellies. Yeah, I have those as well. Hey, Ashley. Welcome. Yeah, I really want Born Ugly. I love it. I am a huge fan of super ugly colors like that, but very annoyed with them for releasing it that way. Anyway, I'll get over it. You know, eventually, someday. What the hell am I doing with my nails, y'all? Yes, you heard Budgie. I'm so glad. Bum, 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 bum. Bunny popping out from a pile of Easter eggs. Could do that. You're also reminded of Cats. Everything will always come back. Yeah, absolutely. Everything will always come back. However, that is more true of universally pretty perceived, at least universally perceived as pretty polishes, than it is of polishes that are mostly perceived as ugly. Unfortunately, it's if you have a really good, truly hideous polish, the chances that someone will remake it are much lower than if you make, you know, yet another beautiful, you know, purple or pink shimmer with iridescent flakes or whatever, right? Bunny Booty. Y'all, I'm gonna start just making executive decisions here. Okay, I'm going to do a jelly or Crelly background. Which one? Lazy gradient, jelly or Crelly? If it's jelly, let me do a poll here. If it's jelly, it's gonna be the ILNPs. Jelly. Crelly. Base. Okay, poll is started. So, if it's a jelly, it's gonna be the I clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry. Just opened an app that I did not intend to open. If it's jelly, it's going to be the ILNPs. If it's Crelly, it's going to be the milk jellies from Dimension Nails. So those are your options. Tell me which I should use for my base. Ashley is making a very good argument that Crelly is Easter. Hi, buddy. Yes, you're a very good girl. What can I do for you? What do you want? You want to yell at me? Budgie might need to... I don't know if she wants attention or if she wants to go to the bedroom. It's looking like Jelly is winning. And it seems like pretty much everybody has voted. So, we're doing the ILNPs. Sorry, Ashley. So we'll do the ILNPs for the background for this. And then we'll do... I should grab my white stamping polish, because I'm definitely going to want that. Oops, sorry, Budge. I should have probably grabbed my stampers. I do have some up on the desk, but they're from that one Voldemort brand. So, and they're not as good. I mostly use them these days to hold my my camera at the right height, because my camera rig is weird. So, but they make perfect spacers because they stack well. All right, so gonna do a little just random sort of lazy gradient background. Budgie definitely wants out. I should let her out. I'm going to let her out real quick, and I'll put you on the Cats Up display for jammy cleaning. And I'm gonna escort Budgie to the bedroom, and then I'll be back. Yeah, I know you don't want to be picked up, but this is the safest way for me to get you to where you want to go. Budgie always screams blue murder when she gets picked up. Like, you'd think she was literally being killed every time she gets lifted up. But, like, oh, I forgot to stop the vote. I promise she's fine. Ridiculous animal. She's just expressing her unhappiness with the state of things in the best way she knows how. which is honestly not a very good way, but it's what she's got. All right. Let's do a little cleanup here. Yeah, she does like to yell at me about it. She gets picked up so rarely, and it's never for anything bad. Like, it's usually to get what she wants or to rescue her from Cinnamon. And then, like, once a year, it's to take her to the vet. But, like, you would literally think that every single time she's ever been picked up, it has been in order to murder her. All right, this snail here has some very entertaining stuff going on because it's got a press on there because it broke so freaking badly. And then I have a patch on my middle nail, I swear. Like, my nails just, they're big babies. It's my fault. I'm not careful enough. But who's got time to be careful all the time, you know? I can't be thinking about my nails all the time. I just don't have that kind of situational awareness, all right? I'm an extremely clumsy person. Yeah, she says torture because I torture her. I torture her by picking her up and putting her in the place where she wants to be. And, you know, sometimes by giving her fewer treats than she would ideally prefer to be given. You know? But it's all quite horrific as far as she's concerned. Your patches always fill you after a week? Yeah. Especially if you're like swatching or something. It's bad. But, you know, I just kind of, as soon as it starts to look a little raggedy, I just go ahead and replace it. Before it gets bad enough to fail. But a friend of mine actually was just saying earlier today she had a patch fail on her. She'd had it on for an entire month, and I don't even know how you do that. Like, that's incredible. As far as I'm concerned, that is a fucking superpower, having that for an entire month. Now, I know she also doesn't do her nails anywhere near as frequently as I do. So that's, you know, obviously going to be a factor. But still, a month is impressive, I think. I certainly understand why a lot of swatchers end up using either press-ons or overlays or, you know, acrylic nails, whatever. Because it is very hard on your nails, and it is, you know, your nails are supposed to look good all the time, right? It's hard for them to look good when they're when they're all patched up. Put that one there. But yeah, I definitely prefer natural nails. Is a lazy gradient happening? I mean, yeah, ish. Emphasis on lazy. It's I'm not trying too hard to make them blend nicely to each other. I'm just kind of patchworking them and letting them overlap and play. Yeah, nails have to magically look perfect without any outside help. Also, hello cat. Jammy. Well, Jammy Dodgers has left the comfy spot. Sorry. I'll give that a minute before we go back in for the second coat. What are we congratulating Kat for? Oh, Kevin is down. I missed that. Yes. Congratulations indeed. While that's drying, I'm thinking for my other hand, what I might just do is like do designs directly on the stamper and then stamp them on. Because that seems easier to me. So that's my current plan. And I think I'm just gonna do like just random, I'll just pick colors and do random designs. In fact, I think I'll get out 4 stampers. Don't really want to do more than 4 at a time because it gets a little bit overwhelming with too much space here. But yeah. So we'll just do some sort of random, I don't know. We'll do some ziggy zaggies, we'll do some dots. We'll do whatever. And they don't have to be perfect cuz it's homemade, right? So let's just do some like dots with this one. They'll be more like blobs than dots, I guess, since I'm not using a dotting tool for them. And then this one, it'll just get a stripe. And then this one can maybe get like a swoosh. Give this one more of a swoosh. I need a little bit more polish though for that. There we go. All right, so there's my first color. Yeah, at least the camera likes to focus on the stampers. It always enjoys focusing on the stampers. It especially loves focusing on the yellow one, whether I want it to or not. Lentil chips. I like lentil chips. I get these things, what are they called? Harvest snaps or something like that. They're like red lentil puff things. They're kind of vaguely like cheese puffs, except not at all. But in terms of like sort of the, they've got that puffed texture to them. But yeah, I get those as sort of one of my regular snacks. And I really like them. They are delicious. All right. Do little ziggy zaggies. I'm just using some of the old Holo Taco crumbs. Well, old and newer, I guess. Ah, crap. I really shouldn't be using this particular brush for this. This brush sucks for this. Yeah, I'm gonna switch brushes. Let's use this brush instead. This is going to do a better job. All right. So we'll do some ziggy zaggies on that one. And this one, I think what we're going to end up doing is doing like dots and interspersed with lines. So I'll do a few rows that are dots first, and then we'll see where it takes us. And this one I'm going to put right up next to it because I can. Because I'm allowed to do whatever I want because it's my nails. Yeah, ziggy-zaggies, dots, stripes, and swooshes. It's normal. All right, and then a stripey here. I just saw something from Marie about peeps and something. Peeps and jelly beans. Yeah, I could do peeps and jelly beans. I was kind of thinking about stamping over the lazy gradient. But I haven't really completely decided yet, so that would still be an option. All right, let's do some yellow. You definitely need to have yellow. You know what I didn't pull? Well, I guess I have the stamping white. I was going to say I didn't pull a white, but the stamping white is certainly, it counts as a white. All right, I got too much on there, and now it's being stupid. Ziggy zaggies, ziggy zaggies. Listen, it's gonna look good, okay? It's gonna look great. Just have some faith. Trust the process. I hear you doubting. I can feel your doubt vibes. But it's gonna be cute as heck. I promise. All right, I think this is where I'm gonna start doing a stripe. We'll do a yellow stripe around the purple dots. None of you would ever doubt me, right? An hour ago, you tried to paint on your stamper and you failed. Yeah, it takes some practice, and you kind of have to, like, you have to keep everything wet because, of course, as soon as anything, like if your brush gets a little bit tacky, if you're going over an area where the polish is a little bit tacky, it's like immediately going to pick up whatever is on the stamper. And so there's kind of a technique to it that I find I end up doing a lot of like blobbing on rather than brushing per se. Okay, next color. Let's do some Bep Bep. Your toddler and you go to town with those Harvest Snaps. Yeah, they're delicious. I don't get the cheddar. The one that I'm hooked on is tomato and basil. I really like the tomato and basil one. That is my go-to. I'm like obsessed with the tomato basil. And it's great because you can eat a whole bunch of them in a sitting, and basically you've mostly eaten air. I'm a big fan of that. I generally try to limit myself to 6 at a time, but, you know, sometimes I'm weak. And I think it's okay. It's okay to be weak. All right, get some dots on here. Get some swooshes. We'll put these swooshes next to the purple swooshes. But yeah, the painting on stampers thing, it takes some practice. It's not necessarily like I understand that probably it looks easier when I'm doing it than it actually is. But I very frequently end up accidentally picking up, especially when I'm doing stuff where I'm trying to do really detailed work on a stamper. I very frequently end up picking up what I just put down by accident, which is annoying. Your sister bought a bulk size bag 2 Christmases ago and you never ate any of it? Are you talking about the harvest snaps? Because I found I really hated the pea ones, but I really like the red lentil ones. So it's possible that, like, you know, if you tried one and it didn't appeal to you, you might actually like the other one, but it does sort of depend on what you didn't like about it. I just found the pea ones, they just taste like peas, and they have like a really strong pea aftertaste. The plant, not the excreted fluid. Weirdos. Yeah. So I find those ones quite unpleasant, but I really like the red lentil ones. Okay, Seafoam Home. Are all of those stampers from Twinkle Tea? Yes. These are Twinkle Tea ones. They are awesome. They're among the stickiest, I think they might be, in fact, the stickiest stampers I've ever used. I really like them a lot. They pick up really well. They transfer really well. I'm a fan. The only thing that I would say that I might complain about is that there's a little plastic piece on the bottom that it falls out really easily, which I feel like I don't think it's necessarily all that important to have it there, but if you're going to have it there, it shouldn't fall out. You know what I mean? At least not that easily. So that I find slightly annoying, but yeah. Other than that, I really like them. And like that is not a deal breaker for me. I think I have, I want to say like 8 of them or something at this point. Why do I have more than 5? I don't fucking know. I don't need more than 5. And yet, they had a really good sale. They were like $2 each. So I said, I mean, they're $2 each. Why wouldn't I buy them? So, you know. So now I just have a drawer full of the damn things. They're no longer available in the short version. Yeah, I don't have any of the longer ones. I don't like that form factor as a general rule. I find it annoying to try and line up on my nail with the longer version. Okay, so that's the Seafoam Home. Let's do... I haven't done What Do You Pink yet. I guess I should also do a white, huh? Urgh. Come on, really? Really? Ugh. Hang on. We struggling. Will you please? Will you please? All right, kids. Do not do this at home, okay? I'm a trained professional with very strong teeth. I do not recommend that. Not only is it bad for your teeth, it fucks up your caps, okay? Don't do it. like 3 people are about to start yelling at me. As soon as the delay is past, I know I'm going to get yelled at for that. But you know what? It's too late, and also you can't stop me. So there. Okay. I think I will do a pink stripe over top of the blue here. I'm going to leave a gap in between because I'm going to do a different color in between them there. Need to get some of those silicone thimbles? Yeah. There's solutions. Look, I'm aware there's solutions. I could just, I don't know, clean the threads of my polish bottles. That would be a solution. But, not likely to start doing that anytime soon. Certainly not about to start doing it on stream. If it bothers you, though, you're welcome to come over and do it for me. That would be fine. All right. Let's put a pink. Let's put a pink up here on the other side of this yellow. And I'm gonna end up running out of colors and need to go back and start again at the beginning of my colors, I think, because my nails are, even though they're short, they're a little longer than these are. But that's okay, we still have a couple colors left. We still have Scientific. Need to get Ruby in here to yell at me. You know what? Ruby is welcome to yell at me. But she also can't stop me. So. And these teeth are strong. Strong like ox. All right, let's fill in this little gap here with our Scientific. And then this swooshy here, I'm going to leave a gap for a swooshy. The swooshy and the ziggy zaggy are looking awfully similar to each other, but I think I'll do the Scientific in this gap here. All right. Oh, you can come over and clean my polish bottles anytime you want. I have absolutely no objection to that. My nail room is also my spare bedroom, so, you know, you can just come and stay for a week, and I can drop off, you know, plates of food outside the door of the nail room. These teeth have seen things. All right. What haven't I used yet? I haven't used... do I want to use Matcha Maker? Yeah, let's use Matcha Maker. Why not? Why not? You know, it's a little more subdued than some of the others, but... Actually, you know what? I don't like it with these others. I don't like it with them. Don't I have Payday? I have Payday. Is Payday too bright? What do we think? Nah, Payday works. Let's do Payday instead of Matcha. Nail polish prison. It's a luxury vacation prison. Whoops. Well, those two decided to go live together, and don't make any nail polish babies on that stamper, please. We just want the one color. We do not want a mix this time. I often do want a mix, but not this time. Let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, we got some pretty good ziggy zaggies going on here. And let's do the swoosh down here. Do you get a bucket as a toilet? No, you get a toilet as a toilet. We're not monsters, for God's sake. There's a bathroom right outside the door. You get your own bathroom. Well, you have to share it with the cats, actually, because there is a litter box in that bathroom. But you know, mostly they're pretty good. They don't usually like hog the shower or anything like that. So one of them does hog the sink in the master bath, but for some reason she does not seem to care about the guest bath. So guests generally get their own bathroom to use mostly to themselves. Gotta hold it in until your 5-minute break. Y'all are making my prison, my nail polish prison, sound much worse than it actually is. I bake, okay? Like, I'll make cookies and shit if people want to come over and organize and clean my bottles. I will bake you cookies, or pie, if you prefer pie. I'm good at pie. I am not Jeff Bezos. I am much nicer than him. We want some white in here, don't we? I think we want some white in here. All right, let's do a white stripe. Just one white stripe, not white stripes. Although I like their music. I don't think that they will fit on my nails, at least not at actual scale. You know, you don't need to share the litter box. You can use a human toilet, like a toilet designed for humans. And the cats will use a toilet designed for cats. You seem very confused about the notion of a toilet. Do they not have those in your country? Listen, I know not everywhere has all of the wonders of modern life like America does. Oh God. Sorry. I gotta laugh so I don't cry about all of that. I think 2 swooshes in this area here will fit. This doesn't seem like a 1 swoosh gap. It seems like a 2 swoosh gap to me. You're trying to figure out how to get here because it's an awkward distance away? Yeah. It's not too close to fly. I actually used to do the flight down here all the time. Before I moved down here, I was flying back and forth between Toronto and DC a lot. So I actually did Porter flies from the Toronto, the downtown, the island airport into DC. And DC is like a less convenient airport at this end than Baltimore is, because we're like halfway in between, but slightly closer to Baltimore, and also DC has worse traffic. So it's kind of like bit of a pain, but yeah, it's so much easier at that end, not having to deal with Pearson, that it's worth it. So yeah, we used to do that. Every couple of weeks. It ain't a toilet unless it's got a heated seat bidet. Okay, well we don't have that. We do not have a bidet. We do not have a heated seat. A seated heat. We don't have seated heat or heated seat. Except in the car. But it's just an ordinary toilet, I'm sorry to say. But it's still better than a litter box, I think. I feel like we didn't get enough of the like pinks and whatnot in this. In the first round of this. So I'm gonna focus on adding in more of the pinks, pink and coral and whatnot, and maybe more of the yellow. And then we'll see where we're at. We're almost making trans flag nails again here. There is going to be another color in there between the blue and the white, though. Probably should have stuck What Do You Pink in there. It would have been an accidental trans flag, but. A little more pink. What if you're actually cats in trench coats? Yeah. You're welcome to use either the toilet or the litter box. It's up to you. I'm not gonna tell a guest that they're not allowed to use the litter box if that's what they prefer. I will say if you have opposable thumbs and you choose to use the litter box, I would ask that you scoop your own. For health and safety reasons. But yeah, you're certainly more than welcome to do that if that's your preference. Just don't do it in the plants, the house plants. There's plenty of litter boxes in the house. Yeah, Ray is saying it's too close to fly because it's such a, if you're going through the standard airports, it's such a pain in the ass to go through everything. You end up, spending 4 hours in airports in order to have an hour and a half of flight time, and it doesn't quite feel worthwhile. But it's not like that when you do the tiny regional planes. They're a little more civilized and a little faster to get through security and everything. It's more pleasant. There's not really such a thing as too close to fly, I think, but it feels that way when it's very close like that. Because, technically you could drive it. We've driven it in a day. A few times, actually. It's a long-ass drive, though. It's not what I would call fun to do that drive, especially if you only have one driver. Because I don't drive. Okay. Plus, driving over the border is a little bit of a... It can be a little annoying at most of the crossing points between Canada and the US, because it can just take a long time. Alright. Making good progress here. I'm going to do a bit more yellow. What did you have delivered, Marie? I saw you say that you got something delivered. if you have your focus back. Oh my goodness. So much painting. Why is it so much painting? It's a 20-hour flight with Porter because you need a connection? What? Ray, where the hell are you? How does that work? That shouldn't be correct. There's nowhere that Porter flies to that would take that long. Are you talking about having like an overnight stop somewhere? What do you mean there's too many colors? There's no such thing as too many colors. The correct number of colors is all of them. Isn't that how Easter works? I'm pretty sure that's how Easter works. You need all of the colors. At least for the eggs. I mean, I suppose if you want to be, like, aesthetic about it instead of being a chaos monster, then you can, but that doesn't seem fun to me. You would have don't fly to the Porter hub. You drive to Toronto, and then you fly from Toronto. Either drive or take a train or something. All right, I already did a yellow there. Okay. What do we still need here? Another purple. Lavender. Wait, what? Fly to Chicago? What? Why would you fly to Chicago from... What? Why would you fly to Chicago from Toronto on your way to Maryland? That doesn't make any sense. But there's a flight that goes straight from Toronto to DC. There's no reason to go to Chicago in between. You're talking crazy talk, girl. There's like an hour and a half long flight from Toronto to DC. Unless for some reason they've stopped doing DC flights, which is... I don't see that happening. Well, I mean, I guess we live in crazy times, but... Tell Porter that. Have you given it some kind of crazy time of the month or year or day or week that it doesn't have flights? Or have they mysteriously stopped flying to DC as protest? That would be funny, actually. It used to be they had... I think 2 flights a day between Toronto and DC. Okay. We still have this one. I'm gonna do... I think I'll do Bet Blue over this bit at the end here, and then hopefully that's enough. I've only actually prepped 4 nails here, and I have 5 nails, so we'll have to figure out what I'm doing for the last one. I might do something different for my thumbnail or for an accent nail or something. Maybe I could do 1 nail that has a bunny on that hand. Yeah, don't point it to Baltimore or something. Point it to DC, because they don't fly to Baltimore. They only fly to DC. I mean, they don't only fly to DC, but in my area, that's the closest. I just got nail polish on my phone screen, y'all. I'm just gonna quickly deal with this because that's not great. Apparently, I had nail polish on my finger. Wet nail polish. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Couch Potato, you flying 29 hours to come to me makes sense. You don't need Ray's 20 hours though. I could see it being 29 hours for you if you took like the cheapest possible million connections kind of flight. I could see that being a thing. Okay, this one still needs something in that gap. Let's just do another white strip there. I'm just gonna use the bottle brush for this because I can. Come on. I shouldn't have used the bottle brush. I don't know what I was thinking. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's go back to doing this while that dries a bit. We'll do our second layer for our little gradient here / patchwork / whatever we want to call this. I'm just going to do 2 coats for this. I'm not going to do a 3rd coat. I don't think it really needs it, especially since I'm stamping over top of it. And these, they don't blend perfectly, but they blend well enough that I think I'm fine with it. I don't feel like I need to mess around with it too much for it to look cute. Could just do an accent nail that's like white, like an egg that hasn't been dyed yet. That might be kind of cute. Or have like a little bunny face poking up on a solid color. Yeah, this is easier. Which state is your destination? Yeah, the land of Mary. It's Maryland. I'm about halfway between Baltimore, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Kind of in the suburbs. I mean, it's its own town, but it's within the sprawl of both cities, so that a lot of people commute to one or the other from my area. Okay. I really like these ILNP jellies. I want more like them. I just want more jellies in general, though. I got I have a couple of the cracked jellies that I haven't tried yet that I am excited to give a shot. But they're more like autumny colors, and I'm not a super seasonal wearer, but when I'm doing like nail art and stuff, which is, you know, most of the time if I'm between swatching stuff, I'm either doing nail art or I'm just getting through untrieds. And I tend to mostly use jellies and crullies and crumbs for nail art. So if I have a new jelly, I'm most likely to want to use it for nail art. So it just sits there waiting for me to want to do a color appropriate nail art. And they're autumny colors. So it's like, well, I don't really want to wait until autumn to use them, but I'm going to have to find some sort of nail art that will work for them before then. DC is 9 hours, 20 minutes. Yeah, that makes sense. Maymay, you live. Welcome home to the internet. Are you, you're all done with fasting now, right? You get to eat like regular now and not have migraines. Internet is second home at this point. Yeah, that's what I said. Welcome home. That wasn't an accident. It's second home for me too. Heck, there have been times in my life when it's been first home. It's been primary home. Mimi live streamed. Did I miss your live streaming? Oh, was it a Pokemon live? I love you, but I'm not going to watch your Pokemon streams. Nail streams, sure. Pokemon streams, not so much. Okay. While those guys are drying, I think we can apply some of these. So we're going to want my sticky base. Have you visited Elvis Presley's house? I don't even know where the hell Elvis Presley's house is. What? Where was Elvis Presley's house? I assume he's had more than one. Oh, you streamed about the Switch 2 announcement? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like between the... Like, we were planning on getting one for Brian, but between tariffs and, like, sort of the general state of things right now, I don't know. I don't know if it would be an awesome idea to spring for something like that at the moment. I haven't really looked at it yet, though. Brian currently has one of the light ones. Yep. Graceland's in Memphis. Yeah, Memphis is really far from here. I've never been to Tennessee. I don't think I've even driven through Tennessee. Don't think I've been particularly close to Tennessee. $450? I mean, I guess it's not crazy, but it feels crazy. It feels like too much money. Oh, this is going to be slightly short. I'm going to have to add some stripes, y'all. But I think this is the one that's the widest. All right. Well, we'll start with this, and then we'll just have to add to it. It's the best we're gonna get. I didn't make it wide enough either. Y'all, I did a bad job. I did a bad job. Did a bad job estimating what I would need to cover my nails. That one's pretty good. I just need to do a little bit on the end. I think we'll do pinky for this one. I forgot to put sticky stuff on the pinky. I didn't put sticky stuff on this one yet either. Yeah, I did. I did put sticky on that one. I just didn't do the pinky. So the pinky did not stick as well as I would have hoped. And gonna have to do a little bit on the end of that one, I think. Maybe a little on the side too. All right. That's okay. We can work with this. We can work with this. It'll be fine. I gotta do a better job of estimating. Tennessee is not in Maryland. Tennessee is pretty far from Maryland. All right. Let's get some more little stripes going to cover these guys, the ends that I haven't got. You're considering getting it for content purposes? Well, that's valid. All right. So we'll just do, this one should be pretty easy because we're just going to do some stripies. I did a bad job though. You see, I missed a whole area on the side there. I did not make it wide enough. So I'm going to have to like go in and add more there. Because apparently I'm bad at this. Got back from dropping off the kiddos. Welcome back. You arrived just in time to see the results of my... Oh, that's not the right color at all. That's the wrong color. My colossal fuck up. In which I did not make any of my little thingies wide enough or long enough. So many games coming out that you've been waiting to try for years. Yeah, we don't play a lot of those kinds of games. Brian does have a couple of games he likes to play on his Switch. I haven't really used it much since Animal Crossing, which I kind of just sort of stopped playing after moving down here. All right, do some touch-ups with this. A little scientific here. Where else do we need a scientific touch-up? We need a scientific touch-up over here. I think that's it. I think I'll actually put just a little bit up here as well, though, because that needed a little bit more. All right. You only used your Switch Lite to play Animal Crossing? Yeah, my ex-husband actually bought my Switch for me years ago. I have the regular one. It was pretty new at the time. And at the time I was like, he got me, I guess, I don't know if it came with whatever Zelda game was current at the time or whatever. And I didn't love that game. I mean, I've played a lot of the older Zelda games, but you know, like back in the olden days. Like Super Nintendo era. So, you know, it's a little different. I'll just go ahead and fill that up there. And yeah, I didn't really get into whatever one it was that came on the Switch. And so I basically didn't play with the Switch at all until Animal Crossing came out. And then I played that, and then I guess I played what was that, Children of Light or whatever? Sky Children of Light. That's the one. Yeah, I think it was a bundle. Donkey Kong's been in development hell for almost 10 years. Your middle child is asking for a Switch. Yeah, I mean, if the kid is getting good grades and he's happy with getting a secondhand one or something, that seems pretty reasonable. Seems like a pretty reasonable ask. If you can afford it. I imagine once the new one comes out, though, there'll probably be a booming secondhand market for the old ones. You're a puppet for your content? Yeah, I feel that. I try not to buy stuff just for content, but not gonna lie, it's happened. Mostly just nail polish, though. I mean, I do have all this lighting. I guess that counts. Technically, Brian bought most of that for me, though. Can I get away with it by saying that? Does that get me out of trouble? If my big light was a gift? Surely it doesn't count if it was a gift. I think this giant nail light, though, that I use, the video light, this huge thing, has actually done a really pretty surprisingly good job of keeping my seasonal affective disorder away, because I haven't been crazy this winter. I haven't been having my usual loopy feelings this winter. So I actually think it's the light. Most of the lamps, the therapy lamps, there's nothing really particularly special about them. They're just, full spectrum daylight bulbs, right? Which is, this one has, you can set the light temperature on it, but I basically have it set to daylight or daylight adjacent kind of color. So I feel like it's kind of doing the thing. You need to get your Xbox 360 cleaned and sell your original Wii. Yeah. Yeah, there's a pretty good, decent market for older consoles that are still, functional. My stepdaughter works part-time in a place that they buy and sell games and consoles and such, and yeah, they definitely, they still turn around. People are into them. Plenty of people that want to play the vintage games for whatever reason. Vintage. The things that are considered vintage now, really, it's very difficult. The older you get, the more difficult it gets because everything is vintage at some point. You're like, but I was a whole ass adult when that came out. How can it be vintage? And yet it is. Especially like most of my social group is like millennials, and in many cases even younger, and it's like, oh oh boy, am old. I have a fair bit of overlap with the millennials, but I am not one of you. I'm just a little bit too old. Yeah, I understand that nostalgia is like a thing, but it's not my thing. So I don't know. I don't tend to be into stuff just for the nostalgia factor. Mostly the stuff that I had around me when I was a kid mostly kind of sucked. So it's like, what is the appeal? I don't need this back. I'm really fine. I think things are better in some ways. Although I will say, there have been some things where I'm like, if they could actually port something that's more like the original to a device that I currently enjoy using, then there's some stuff that I would definitely get into. Like the original The Sims game. I really liked the very first one, and then after that it got successively worse with each new one. Just my opinion. Don't come at me. It's fine if you like them. I don't think that they're like necessarily objectively worse. They're just less attuned to my personal tastes. I found they got a little too complex and hand-holdy. And I didn't want my playing experience to go in the direction that they took it. So I stopped playing them after the first one. And I played the second one, but yeah, I didn't really like it. And then there were one or two of the later ones that I was able to access without having to buy, just at a friend's house or whatever, so I could check them out, and invariably I hated them all. Same with SimCity. The original SimCity was great, and then after that I just didn't like them as much. So yeah, I understand it in that sense, but you need to force your kids to realize how great your video games, cartoons, and movies were. Yeah, original Sims gameplay, but with improved graphics, that would be ideal, Ray. I am 100% in agreement with you. Skip over the black and white saga when you get there? For what? Oh, for, the Nintendo... the Game Boy systems? Is that what you're talking about? The little handheld guys? I never had one of those. The Switch was the first handheld gaming console that I ever owned. Actually, I guess technically it was the first gaming console of any kind that I ever owned, and I guess only because I haven't bought another one since then. I had my stepbrothers had one, and my folks did get an N64 after Carmen was born, and I was living with them for part of that time, so Mom and I would play Mario 64. But then I moved back out of their place again shortly after, and yeah, didn't have access to another console again until I got my Switch. I was always more of a PC gamer. Pokemon cartoon. Oh, the Black and White saga is a Pokemon cartoon. I've never watched any of the Pokemon stuff. I've seen a like clips of a few episodes. So Jigglypuff's song like lives rent free in my head because at some point in time I somehow managed to see just Jigglypuff with a microphone just singing her fucking name, and that stuck with me. But yeah, I haven't really watched any of them otherwise. Okay. I mean, if that sort of thing had been on TV on a channel that I got during the age when I had access to TV and time to watch it, sure, I probably would have. But it didn't exist during the brief period that I had regular TV access as a kid. Jigglypuff is your idol. Jigglypuff is an icon. I mean, she's pretty good. All right, so there's most of my little Easter egg nails. I think I like this one with the polka dots best. I think that one's my favorite. I do want to move on to. Got a little ding there, and I got some polish on this one, so that's good. I do want to move on to this other hand. We'll try and do a little tidy up here without completely fucking it up. And I think for this hand, we'll just do some stamping to keep things simple. I'm just going to do a little touch up here. And then, yeah, we can do some, like, bunny stamping on this hand. All right. Yeah, that... Ray, the having a chunk of your life where, like, you didn't have your parents' TV and you didn't have, necessarily either you didn't have your own TV or you couldn't necessarily afford cable, and plus you were working and hanging out with friends and whatever else. And like, yeah, you just don't have the same kind of need for TV. And so there was basically like, I moved out of my folks' place pretty young. And then I went until the streaming years, really, until it became normal. Like Netflix came around and it became normal to like just stream everything. I spent basically, what is that, like 20 years or something where I just wasn't watching TV unless I happened to, see something while I was at a bar or at a friend's place or something. TV was just not a thing, really. Couch Potatoes never heard of Jigglypuff? Couch Potato. Now you need to be indoctrinated into the Jigglypuff cult. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. All right, so I'm thinking maybe like, do I want to do silhouettes or do I want to do reverse stamping? I guess that's the question. Because I could do just silhouettes in white, or I could do reverse stamping and do a little bit of various and sundry cuteness. Kind of feeling reverse stamping. But I'm gonna make y'all decide, okay? I'm gonna do a little poll here. All right. So this is for the bunny hand. Do we want to do silhouettes, or do we want to do reverse stamping? All right. Do the poll. Oh no, Couch Potato is about to get attacked by Jigglypuff. I'm sorry, Couch Potato. She is really good though. Reverse stamping with a Crelly so the jelly rainbow shows through a bit. That's kind of a fun idea. I do have a white Crelly. Let's see here. Looks like reverse stamping is... Oh, they just switched to half and half. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's 50-50. Has everybody voted? It looks like everybody's voted and we're 50-50. Y'all. Well, I guess I'm the tiebreaker. So, unless somebody wants to change their vote at the last minute. Okay. I'm going to end the poll. It's 50-50. I'm going to reverse stamp. I'm going to reverse stamp, but I'm going to take Ray's suggestion. Ow! I just bonked my knee, y'all. I bonked it. I bonked it good. Thankfully, I did not kneecap myself for once. I'll do the reverse stamping, but I'll do it in... I'll use the white Crelly so it's sort of sheer. How about you get 2 votes? No, I get 2 votes, Ashley. Why would you get 2 votes? I don't see how that makes any sense. I mean... If Linry was here voting against what you were voting for, then yeah, I would probably give you 2 votes. But Linry's not here, so... And I would really only do that to support you in your war against Linry. Okay. So... I'm gonna do 2 bunnies. 2 bunnies. And then I'll probably also... Whoop! I'll probably also do some ears. But definitely I'm gonna do 2 bunnies. I'm gonna do the 2 bunnies that are set up here perfectly for reverse stamping. There's 1. And 2. Okay. It is a cute plate. Yes. This one is from Clear Jelly Stamper. I don't have very many of their plates because most of their plates, like this one, are for layered stamping. And for the most part, I don't really like to do layered stamping. So for me to choose a plate that has layered stamps on it, I have to really, really, really like the plate a lot. Ooh, boy, that's noisy. Because, yeah, otherwise it just feels kind of like a waste. Because I know that, you know, half of the stamps in there I'm just never going to use. So it's got to be a pretty special plate for me to decide to do that. But I liked all the bunnies that are in this one, and in this particular case, I could see myself using the fills as silhouettes, so it felt more like I was likely to be able to use more of it. But yeah, as a general rule, not really a layered stamp plate fan. Speaking of plates, y'all see that Sugar Bubbles has added a little disclaimer to their listing on Polish Pickup about the plate having AI designs on it. It's pretty funny because, like, they kind of, the way they've got it phrased, it's sort of like, you know, oh, I've specially curated these designs, thoughtfully curated these AI designs for you. And meanwhile, like, several of the designs have like 6 fingers and just, yeah, pretty funny. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of AI being used for that kind of thing personally. I think I would rather that AI be used for, you know, finding potential new target sites for cancer treatments or whatever, and leave the creative stuff to the humans. But I guess that particular cat is not going back in the bag. You can't do live streams and Discords at the same time? What do you mean? You can't split your attention between 5 different things all at once? How disappointing. They're just switching back and forth, probably. Also, YouTube can definitely go like up in a little corner. At least on the iPhone, you can just minimize it while you're on other apps. But then, of course, you don't get to see the chat. You just see the video. You wonder if they saw a discussion about the AI ick factor. I suspect that probably, because I know several people contacted PPU about it. And then at least one person had written in the forum that they were not impressed by it. So I'm sure that I imagine that was a conversation that happened with PPU. Clearly, they decided that it was fine. I do wonder, though, if we'll see more AI stuff from them in the future or not, because it sort of depends on the size of the backlash. I mean, I don't know. I feel like other plates had issues with designs that were definitely not their own original work anyway. So, like, if they stop doing AI stuff, but it just leads to them using more designs from uncredited artists, from stuff they just found online, is that an improvement? I kind of feel like it's not an improvement. I feel like that's not better. So, I don't know. I'm going to do a little creme behind the ears just to help that pop a little more. Because I feel like it's not looking particularly pink there where the ears are. I want it to be a little more pink. I don't know. They seem to have completely embraced AI, though, for their brand, so I don't know. They obviously don't feel the same way about AI usage as I do. Given that they're using it for all their marketing. Yeah, I mean, ideally, I would like the plates to have original artwork made by the person who is producing the plates. That seems to be a rare commodity in the stamping plate world. I considered getting into designing stamping plates, but I wouldn't want to handle distribution myself. I feel like I would get very annoyed with that, unless I was exclusively selling them through a distributor. And I wouldn't want to have to handle like mailing out plates all the time. That would annoy me. So, not worth it for me. But I would love to do the designing part. I would just need to be working with someone. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Ashley. For things like science and healthcare, I think it makes a lot of sense to have AI doing, specifically like looking at certain kinds of research questions, right? Like things where human bias isn't really relevant, right? Like I don't think we should have AI making decisions about whether or not people are going to be insured for a specific thing. But I do think it makes sense to have AI going through, DNA sequences and looking for things that correlate with various different disorders or health outcomes. Like that kind of thing makes a lot of sense for AI to be doing. It's the sort of thing that AI is really good at. It's pattern recognition at extreme speed and efficiency. That kind of thing, I love the use of AI for that. I think it's totally worth it, even though it is, environmentally a lot to run anything like that. It's the sort of thing where we're doing that anyway in those fields, and it's important. So if it's limited to that, to me, it makes sense. You would love some Peggy plates? I would love some Peggy plates. There only exists one. There exists one designed by me plate in the world. Have you all seen my plate? Hang on. Let me dig out my plate that I designed. It's in here. It is in here somewhere. Should be in this section. I think that might be it. There it is. Oof. Found it. This is the one and only plate that I ever designed. Let me clean it for you so you can actually see it. Yeah, AI bias is absolutely a thing. It does depend on the thing, on the fields though, right? Like anything where human beings are going to be interacting with it, or it's going to, its decisions are going to directly affect
human beings. That's an area where I want people involved. But there's lots of stuff in the research world where the human biases aren't as much of an issue, like finding patterns, finding links between DNA regions and health outcomes. Yes, there's still going to be a certain amount of bias in there, but it's pretty minimal in those specific kinds of situations, and that kind of thing I think is very reasonable to have AI working on that kind of problem. But yeah, like I touched my butterfly clip and it went flying, and now I have to reapply it. Hang on, y'all. But yeah, like we know that if it's like a diagnostic, if it's developing a diagnostic test that relies on being able to see veins through skin, for instance, those kinds of things, we know that if you're not supplying enough variation in skin tone to that test, when you're teaching it how to do it, it's going to fail people who aren't white, frankly. Like that's how we see it happen all the time. So in things like that, I think, yeah, you need to be a lot more careful. The legendary plate, this is literally the only one that exists. This is it. This is all there is. You can't get it. You can't have it. Yeah, Ray, unraveling protein structures makes total sense to apply AI to that, because it's not a thing where there really is human bias so much. It's not as much of an issue. Yeah, so I had this made by Mundo de Unas. That they have a thing they offer where you can have basically like a completely custom plate made, and you can see it's kind of small, and it's obviously, if you don't have some experience with doing digital design, it can be a little challenging to know what's going to work. I've done a fair bit of digital design for a lot of different kinds of media, so it was relatively easy for me to come up with a plate that would work. But yeah, so I have like a bunch of different virus structures here, some bacteria over here, different bacteria over here, and then a bunch of bugs of various sorts. So yeah, it's the only one ever made, and it was fucking expensive. I think I paid like $30 or something to have this one made. So yeah, I'm being rude showing you something you can't have. That's how I roll. Come on. Y'all should know this about me. All right. Let's have, hang on, this one. I want to have this one looking at the other one. So put that there. And then put that one there, looking away. Oh, I totally did that off screen. Sorry. So I got one little dude looking at the other little dude. Yeah, you could totally have, they don't care about whether or not it's copyright material. They'll happily make you a Pokemon plate if you give them the designs for it. But yeah, I would love to do more, but I would need to work with pardon me, I would need to work with a company, I think, in order to do it in a way that would work for me and not be a problem for my brain. I ran a business doing online sales of physical goods for long enough that I know that stuff where I am shipping individual items regularly out of my house, it doesn't work for me. It is bad for my brain to do that. So
All right, so do I want to do like just some ears poking up on these other ones, or like maybe pointing down? Or do I want to just leave it at this? Yeah, the quality I think is definitely not as good as a lot of the other makers, I agree. But custom. I don't know. As I say, it was really expensive to do. Um I'm gonna paint my one accent nail over here while y'all tell me if I should do anything else on this hand or if it should just be this. And I think I'm just gonna do. Do I want to do off-white? Maybe I want to do off-white. What if I do this? What if I do this butter me up? Since I just got it, I can do that. Ears peeking out from a corner. One nail a bunny face. One nail a bunny butt. Ears peeking out sounds cute. A sacrifice. What? What are we sacrificing? It's not that kind of Easter celebration, Mei. Yeah, this was the one that I picked up as my birthday gift because it was this or birthday cake, which I already have from Holotago. So I was like, I don't really want to get birthday cake again because I already have one and I don't really wear it. So, all right. So for the ears, I think the ears should be silhouette. There's a few different kinds and sizes. I feel like these like smaller ones might be better. Maybe these ones. One like that, one like that. Or like these little guys. These ones are pretty cute. I wonder if is that too... I'm gonna do these ones on my pinky, I think. Sacrifice the bunny. Sacrificing quality of nail art for the custom plate, yes. Yes. I think, I mean, for me, I think it was worth doing because I was able to get some designs that I knew nobody was ever going to do. Because people just don't do the kinds of actually realistic bugs that I want and actually realistic. I think, should we do... Let's do it this direction. Let's have bunny ears coming out from the top corner. There we go. Can you even tell that they're bunny ears? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they just look like weird shapes. That's okay for me. I don't mind that. It's okay for it to just be a weird shape. Little bunny puffball. I feel like that's the kind of shape it would have been just as easy to just paint on. But let's do a little face on my thumb. I'm gonna do this little face with the closed eyes because I think it's cuter than the one with the great big open eyes. And I might actually put ears on this one as well. Put the face down here and then put ears above it. Y'all trying to advise me and I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm the worst. I'm basically the worst streamer. With Pokemon, it's a 50-50 chance someone might make it. Yeah. I also love Sabi's plates, but yeah, she can't be messing around with the copyright stuff. It's a good way to get yourself shut down. I definitely support my favorite artists not getting their asses shut down for copyright violations. That went a little wonky up at the top there. Let's see if I can actually, maybe I can just fill it a little bit with the detail brush. That might be a better option. Bring that in a little. There we go. That's probably better. Do a tiny little touch up in here too. All right, and I need a new one of these. Okay, so do one up here. And then we'll do the other one on the other side. It needs to touch up again. Yeah, we want them not shut down. Don't like to have brands that we like get shut down, especially when it's for stuff that is so avoidable. And I know that doing fan art stuff is real tempting because it sells very well, but you gotta be careful. Yeah, Pokemon, they'll let you get away with stuff if you do your own art in your own style and you're not sort of like directly competing with them. But even then, like, they do reserve the right to change that if you do something they don't like. I feel like, do I want like a second pair of bunny ears over here? I don't know. I'm not totally happy with this one. I think I made a bad choice with putting it in the top corner. Maybe it's better to just leave it. It's probably better to just leave it. I should be smart and just leave it. R.I.P. Snom Ita bag. Yeah. Alright. Snom is the cutest. I freaking love Snom. I didn't even know about Snom until Dusk did that Snom Manny. And then I got to do my own Snom Manny in homage and in homage. And I really I'm not going to apologize for that. That was fun. And I really liked Snom. I thought it was fucking cute. And I'd never heard of it before that. She did have some SG plates and had to take them down. Yeah. I mean, at least she got the opportunity to take them down instead of just getting sued. So, Snom is precious. You love the bunny face. It would be so cute with whiskers. Sylvia, have you been just hiding this whole time? You've just been lurking this whole time? And now you're like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fuck with Peggy. I'm gonna just come in, swoop in at the last second, and demand whiskers. How dare you? I like it though. Let's see if I can do it without fucking it up. I believe in me. Yes. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, the evolved form of Snom was the Ice Scales inspo from the Arcana Lacquer collection. Hang on, I gotta blow my nose. Let me give you a little Jammy Dodgers here. Because she's such a good girl, and she's so much cuter than me blowing my nose is. I appreciate your faith, Sylvia. I do. All right. Let's top this up a little bit. And see if I can do as good a job on the other side for these whiskers. This is like difficult. Like trying to hold my breath while I do this. Especially on this side because I'm pulling the wrong direction. Alright, well that one was a little thicker than I wanted, but good enough. She just snored. What a funny cat. Such a good girl. Are there whiskers on the stamping plate? Whoops. Shit, sorry. I didn't even notice whiskers on the stamping plate. Oh yeah, there are. I could have just used those. Oh well. I think I like the ones on this side better than the ones on the plate. I don't know about the ones on that side, but they don't have to be perfect. It's fine. Okay. I think I need another coat of whatever the hell this thing is. Butter me up or whatever. What the hell did she call this one? Butter liquor. Touch the butter. I don't remember. I feel like this one's gonna need a third coat. Definitely needs a third coat. Butter me up is what it's called, apparently. You love the moth Pokemon? Yes. I love all of the moth Pokemons. I love all of the bug Pokemon, actually. I think just on principle, I have no choice but to love all the bug Pokemon. I think I'm like contractually obligated to love bug things. Larvesta and Volcarona. I've never heard of these ones. I don't know a lot of the newer. Oh, my side light is blinking on me. Yeah, I don't know a lot of the newer Pokemon because basically my only Pokemon experience or knowledge or contact has been with Pokemon Go, and I haven't played that for like 2 years. So if it wasn't in Pokemon Go before 2 years ago, I probably don't know it. You don't own Butter Me Up because it would pull weird on me. Pull weird on you. I'm sure that that's true. It's a weird color. Like, it's not. I didn't buy it to wear. I bought it to use for nail art, and I didn't even buy it. It was free. It was like it was one of my birthday. It was the birthday thing that. Basically, like I said, it was that or birthday cake, or got cake rather, whatever the fuck it's called. Got cake? Is it called got cake? Whatever that one is that I already have. So I got it because I was like, well, I'll find a use for it in nail art. It's a little less opaque than I would have liked, though. So that's 2 coats, and it's still kind of patchy. You hate that you like the color, but it would also pull weird on you. Yeah. I mean, there's probably not a lot of us. I feel like, okay, if you're a pale skin like me, it's going to look weird on you because it's like weird. Just a weird color. I feel like if you are quite dark skinned, it could maybe look nice. If you're in between, it's probably weird. It's hard for me to imagine this being a really nice color on very many people, to be honest. I could be wrong. Some people probably love it. I'm not one of them. Got cake is ugly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate Got Cake, but I certainly don't love Got Cake. Like, I got it back when I was doing the Holo Taco completionist lifestyle. And I was buying everything they put out, whether I liked it or not. But I also, was new to nail polish and didn't really have a good sense of what I would like, what I would like on myself. And so it was not so bad that I was like that at that point in time. I think it let me try a lot of stuff that I might not otherwise have tried. And, I figured out that I liked some stuff that I wouldn't have necessarily expected to like. So that's a good thing. Not mad about that. But yeah, that's basically the only reason I got it, was because I was buying everything they made at that point. I don't hate it. It's not something I reach for. It's fine. Now, Existential Crisis. Ooh, that baby. I love that one. Yeah, I think I agree, Ray, that the darker your skin is, the harder it is, at least for lighter colors, to look weird. I feel like there's a contrast thing that makes it more likely to look nice, for me at least. Like, I find when it comes to very dark colors, there aren't a lot of really dark colors that I can put on myself and hate. Like, if they're dark, I'm probably gonna like them on me, because I like the contrast. And so I think the same thing is at play with paler colors on much darker skin tones. And so I think when there is that strong a contrast in the tone, I think that the hues of the undertones of the skin are less dominant or less dominantly at play in that. They're like a less important factor for me, for my taste. But yeah. You're gonna try and find the plate. It's a cute plate. I really like it. I have used these bunnies, these two specifically, these two bunnies, so many times, and I wish that the plate had more bunnies like them on it. That would make the plate more fun for me. But I really think it's a cute plate, and I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I've had it for a couple of years now. But clear jelly stampers, you can probably still get it, I'm guessing. Yeah, absolutely. Wear what you like. Like don't I don't go by what colors look good on my skin tone, according to anybody. There are a lot of people who will tell me that I look really nice in all kinds of pink hues that I personally hate. I don't like looking at them, especially ones that look too close to my skin tone. I don't like the mannequin hands look. And so I, just don't wear those colors, even though it's almost universally agreed by humans that purples and pinks look good on me. Everybody loves when I wear purples and pinks. They're like, oh, that color looks so good on you. And I'm like, but blue exists. Why would I reach for purple and pink when blue exists? There's blue in the world, y'all. Obviously, I'm gonna choose that. You used to not wear sunflower yellow colors because someone told you they weren't flattering with your skin tone. Yeah, fuck that. Nicole hates pastels and they look so good on her. I agree. She looks amazing in pastels. They're always stunning on her. But you're allowed to not like them. It's fine. Sylvia needs a brown polish for a specific nail art but doesn't want to buy one just for one project. What colors should you mix? So it does depend. In general, mixing things that are opposites on the color wheel are going to get you close to brown. But it sort of depends on the specific tones. And they'll tend to be pretty muddy if you go directly opposite. A lot of the time, mixing like dark red and orange and green will get you into a nice sort of space. But it, like I said, it depends on the specific shades that you're working with, because you can have like a red that has a really blue undertone, and that's going to mix very differently than a red with an orange undertone. And both of those will mix differently than a red that is more neutral red. So you kind of have to play around with it. I will say most black nail polish tends to not be true black. And even if it was, it's not great mixing black with stuff. So like you might think, oh, I'll mix orange and black and that'll give me brown, because orange, brown is kind of like dark orange. It doesn't work that way. It'll tend to pull it really muddy and gross, and it'll look nasty. So yeah. Orange and black is a terrible, terrible idea. Generally speaking, you don't want to go orange and black. Okay, let's play a game. You're looking for a brown that's more of a deep camel color? All right. Let's play a game, y'all. Orange and black. My mixing videos were so informational. Did I do mixing videos? This sounds like a good idea. I should do more of this. Okay. Orange. Black. So we'll take, let me make sure that I don't have any other stuff on here to confound things. I'm gonna need more orange than this. Okay, so everybody's saying orange and black to make brown. And if you had the right orange and the right black, you might be able to get kind of a muddy brown. But it's very... It's a very poopy shade. See how it's like, it's almost got a greenish tone to it? It's not like a nice... It's not like a nice brown. Similarly with orange, or with yellow rather, they tend, when you mix with black, they tend to pull more greenish. So do the same thing with yellow. And this is a sort of a more of a sunflowery yellow. But yeah, it tends to turn sort of a poopy, slightly greenish tone instead of being a nice, proper brown tone. Yes, poop is brown, but it's not necessarily the kind of brown that you want. So if I wanted to mix a camel, let's see. I would probably start with... So if I guess it kind of depends too on what kind of colors you have, but assuming you have something like a yellow, let's try adding a little bit of blue and a little bit of orange. See where we get with that. This is probably going to be too dark. And I would definitely need to experiment a lot to get anywhere near. This is going to be too green as well. Even with just a hint of blue, it ends up being a little too green. So this is why none of this is ever as straightforward as you might think. In theory, yellow plus red plus blue should equal brown in theory, but none of our polishes are pure yellow, pure red, pure blue. It's not as straightforward as that, right? Because the way that your color wheel knowledge from kindergarten works relies on pure tones. And so, yes, in theory, colors that are sort of opposite each other on the color wheel will give you browns. But they're not necessarily going to be the browns that you want. So that's a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. That's getting closer. It's definitely not what you're looking for, but it's getting closer. Depending on what exact shade you're looking for, you could maybe add in a tiny bit of white. You could try a little bit of teal. It's the issue is because the tones, the undertones for each of these colors, the specific hues is going to vary. The way that specific polishes interact is going to vary. And so you're really going to have to try the actual ones that you have. I do think that starting with like yellows, oranges, reds, and mixing in tiny amounts of blues and purples is most likely to get you close to where you want to be. Adding whites and blacks has a tendency to muddy things. Blacks have a tendency to pull things a little bit to the green side. Whites have a tendency to just desaturate them. So it's going to take some experimentation. Twice as much yellow, some blue and red. Yeah, that would be sort of a good jumping off point. But you're definitely going to have to experiment with the specific tones that you have. So this was butterscotch hop, oh my gourd, left on red, and a little bit of shady navy. White makes things ashy, yeah. Yeah, it just desaturates them and makes them sort of look misty and weird. I totally dinged this while I was doing all that. So I'm going to have to try and do a little touch up on that. Yeah, color stuff with nail polish is challenging because you're never working with truly pure hues. You're always working with hues with various different undertones. So it's a little challenging. You come back and see everyone saying poop? Yeah. We've been talking about poop. You want to see my poop? I made some poop. There's a yellow with a little bit of black mixed in poop, which is why if you want brown, you don't just throw some black and some yellow. And this is orange with a little bit of black mixed in poop, which is why if you want a nice brown, you generally don't want to add a little bit of black to some orange because it'll pull a little bit green. And then this poop here was made with a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue. And it's a slightly less poopy poop. You know? If you're looking for poop, this is the place to be. Anytime you need poop help, I'm happy to experiment and try to help you with your poop needs. Yeah, so I dinged this nail, so I need to do a little touch up on it. But do I want to do anything else with this nail after I fix it? Like, should it have anything on it, or can it just be like it is? What do we think? Is this just like the one unpainted egg that's waiting? Maybe it needs a couple of speckles or something? Try and just... I'm going to give this one more coat and see if we can't fix this up a little bit. Peggy the Poop Master, that's me. That is me. I should change my Instagram handle. Poop Master Peggy. Channel name can be Poop Master Peggy. It needs an Easter bug. An Easter bug. Like a Easter egg beetle. It's kind of a fun idea. I don't hate that idea, Sylvia. I'm not mad at that idea. I could do this beetle reverse stamped with Easter egg colors. I have to do it. I have to do it. Sylvia said it. Sylvia said it. I have to do it. She's the one that came up with the whiskers. So, you know, like, clearly she knows what she's talking about. PP Master? No. PP Master is an entirely different thing, all right? That is a completely different thing. Am I going to have a problem if I try and do this in white? I feel like I'm going to have a problem if I try and do this in white. Is that going to be completely invisible? I might have to grab a different color. Are you going to be invisible on there? No, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. All right. Bum 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 bum. I don't want to do too many colors, but let's do like a little bit of Seafoam Home. Do it in brown? No, I refuse. You can't make me. All right. We'll just do some little... We'll do some little stripies. We'll just do some little stripies. How about that? He's basically just a beetle that's painted to look like an Easter egg. Oh, purple. And you know what we always say around here? It's that nobody can stop me. So this is what I'm going to do. You can't make me do anything I don't want to do. And you can't stop me from doing what I want to do. Because you, all of you, are somewhere else entirely. Not a single one of you is in this room able to stop me. So there. A little Bet Blue. Gonna head out, May. Opening shift tomorrow. I have an MRI tomorrow at like 7 a.m. I gotta get another fucking biopsy done. So that's gonna be fun. Actually, I think that guy's entire butt area is gonna be Bet Blue. Let's just do that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up staying up until like freaking 4 a.m. and then get 2 hours of sleep and then get up and go to my MRI. Alright, I'll do this whole section up here in this color and also this little bit right there. There we go. Okay. I think that's pretty cute. You thought Sylvia is always right? I didn't say Sylvia is always right. I reserve the right to decide that anybody can be overruled on my streams. Just because Sylvia is often right. You know, 2 out of 3 times on one stream. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good track record. Yeah, you're right. That is what I say around here. It's not what anybody else says around here. And actually, I've only said it twice. So. Alright. Yeah. Oof. Oof indeed. Oof is exactly how I feel about it. It's still not as bad as the surgery I have scheduled for... I have a surgery scheduled for later on in the month. The actual surgery is supposed to be at 7 a.m., but I'm supposed to be there at like frickin' 5 a.m. for it, which is insane and I think unethical. It's not okay. It's not okay for anybody to have to get up that early and go somewhere and be in any way functional. All right, you know what? That's freaking cute. I probably should have done something other than white for the base of it, but I think it's fine. It's cute. I like it. I'm happy. I did ding this other nail, though. Look at that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I still have to do top coat on everything, too. Night, Mei. You're usually right, or at least that's what you tell your husband? Well... when you're right, you're right. It's not your fault if it's, you know, typical for you. Yeah, surgery is not until later in the month, Mei. We don't got to worry about that yet. This one's just an MRI. You can wish me luck on my surgery when it's time for my surgery. I don't even know what the hell they're going to be doing in the surgery yet. They don't know what the hell they're going to be doing in the surgery yet. That's what the MRI is for. Yeah, figure out how much of my right boob they're going to take away. So that's exciting. Some amount of it is getting hacked off, but don't know how much yet. Hopefully it won't interrupt my streaming schedule. That's the right thing to be concerned about, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's the right thing to be concerned about. You think it's an egg? Psych, it's a beetle. Yeah. It does kind of look like an egg because of the legs being done in white. It's like subtle enough that it seems like it could just be an egg. All right. Do we risk? Yeah, I think with these colors, I'm going to risk doing it without smudge free. Whew. Living dangerously. Living dangerously, folks. We got it, though. All right, so we have on this hand cute little buns, little bun face, mostly just cute little buns. And then over here we got our little Easter eggies and our surprise Easter egg beetle. And I, for one, think this is pretty freaking cute. I am happy. Cats up display. What a cutie. What a good girl she is. I freaking dinged my nail again. Immediately. I'm useless. I'm basically a wreck, but that's okay. Very cute. 10 out of 10. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for your input on the various designs. I think it came out pretty cute. And now I'll have some Easter nails to post over the next little while. Might not post them right away. I have a couple of swatching things I gotta post up, but probably do it soon because I'm fairly certain that during actual Easter run up, I'm going to be posting a bunch of new Arcana collection stuff. There is Easter's on 420 this year. Nice. That's pretty good. I do not partake of the weed, but I do partake of the chocolate. So I approve. And I think, anything that gets people to eat more snacks is good, right? You just got to make sure that you add some Eastery stuff into your snack assortment for a 420 day. Anyway, I feel like an awful lot of people are going to really need that extra help to chill out this year. Because, whoo boy, shit is wild. All right. Holy heck, it's late. Thank you all for coming by and hanging out with me. And if you did nails while you were watching this stream, make sure that you tag me in them and show me what you did. And otherwise, my bunnies and beetle say thank you and good night. And let me know if you have any ideas for future streams, or if you want me to do anything in particular. Because it takes pressure off me to think of shit. I'm a big fan of that.